I have in the longest spoken about corruption without being listened to. And my only gripe is that is the vice president himself clean? That's my point.
Nyaya iripo mhuri yeZimbabwe zvakataurika panapa hapana asiri kuzviziva. Vazhinji vanotevera dandemutande vanotaura kuti Comrade Geza vakazvitaura kuti Temba Mliswa ane mari yaakapiwa aine chinangwa chekuda kutanisha imeji yavice president Chiwenga. Vakazvitaura svondo radarika pavakaita live yavo. Hezvo nhasi Temba Mliswa ari kunzwika achitaura mashoko ekukondema vice president Chiwenga kuti ivo vari kutaura nyaya against corruption, asi ivo vakachena here. Pari kutaurwa nyaya yekuma-diamonds, nyaya yekuchiadzwa uko kwaari kuimplicata vice president kuti vane zvavanoziva. Ndo mashoko atinawo panapa mhuri yeZimbabwe maererano naTemba Mliswa uyo ari kunzwika achitaura mashoko ekupesana navice president Chiwenga kuti vane nyaya, vane zvavakaitavo, uyezve pfuma yavo yavainayo havana kuiwana nenzira yakachena, zvaita kuti ave nekupesana nevanhu vakawanda padandemutande.
I have in the longest spoken about corruption without being listened to. And my only gripe is that is the vice president himself clean? That's my point. Because there are many issues that we went through, from the diamonds, 15 billion missing, the defense was involved. They did not account for them. Do you understand? There are issues within the party, which have long been there. There are issues with the Chinese, which are there as well. Is he clean himself? If you look at his asset register, per divorce, ex-wife, how did he acquire all those assets? How much is an army commander paid? How much is CDF paid to acquire all those assets? If he truly wants to be a leader to be reckoned with and not to be seen to be personal, the Chinese themselves, how much have they gotten through kuenda kuwakuru kwema offices au wachisapota vasinga support isusu? That has been happening for a long time. They choose a foreign investor to a local investor. They are equally part of it. So you are expected as a leader to declare your assets. Declaring your assets kuti izvo ndinazvo, ndakaiwana salary yangu, kana ndakawana loan kubva kubank, and so kana ndine company iri kugona kuita basa, iri kuunza ma-profits, ndiko kwandiri kutenga. He is able to do that because he has to do that, because equally the properties that he exposed, okay, on their divorce, clearly there is no salary army commander can CDF. If he's a great farmer, let us look at how much he generates per year to be able to buy those things. Source of income is critical. So it remains my position, and it will not change. And I've always said it has to be done holistically, not piecemeal. Nakuti kune politics dhiripo kuti uri kutya kuti umwe munhu achapinda ane mari more than you, but iyeye munhu futi anonzi akakupawo mari futi aikubetserawo, nekuti the politics is hot now, you want to go for them. But again, the onus is for you to prove that they're being corrupt. He sits in cabinet, muno decide wamadiri ese. Why does he not block them? He sits in cabinet. Why does he block those deals? After they've benefited, after they're not getting what they used to get, they now want to fight. So my position has never changed. The head of state is responsible for the running of the country. So if things are not going well, even through his ministers who are incompetent, it ends up with him again, because he appointed those ministers. So my position has not changed, and I'm not a hypocrite. I'll never be a hypocrite. The head of state is responsible for government, for parliament, and the judiciary. Ndo baba wenyika. Saka kana pane zvinhu zvakanganiswa nemwana mumuri, zvinonzi baba vacho ndo vanoziva and vanofana kupindura. So that does not mean it's the office of the president that I talk about, which equally must be able to ensure that if you look at OPC is responsible for implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. Unless Panama departments are kurara, it ends up getting kune mkuru baba vanonzi imimi ndimi muri kutikanganisa nekuti zvinhu zviri kuitika imimi mune ofisi yacho. So let that be understood. That's the narrative that I'm trying to give, nothing else. And I continue to say everything that happens in this country, okay, the president is responsible because he is the head of state. Ndio baba. At the same time, Chiwenga ndi baba munini, ndi baba ofuti, andizvo vari baba munini. Saka iwo ofuti mhosva idzi dzinoenda ofuti kwavari navamhadhi. You see, tozoenda kuma ministers futi, they're all responsible for all that. But ultimately, the pyramid is very clear to who's at the top. So I don't know why people think that I can vacillate. I don't vacillate. I hold people responsible and they must be accountable. And for the president, I've done that several times. He's never had an issue with it. Okay? What the vice president did in the Politi Bureau is wrong. He was supposed to call institutions, probe corruption, straight, not kudzunza mu PB and so forth. It was now personal, wanting to expose the party, okay, and so forth. Yet he's got the powers to call ZRP and ZAC to arrest these people or to start investigating. Because the other issue, he was also supposed to bring documents which have been investigated and now people must be arrested. Because you cannot say people must be arrested before there's an investigation. You investigate to arrest. But Politburo, ICO, he wanted to go political and gain the favor from the people. He's a no-nonsense person ku corruption. Aiwa. Kana uri presidium maunogara zvakawanda zvichiitika ma-elections munosponsor nevanhu ma-Chinese atora zvinhu munomu 7.1 trillion manize iri koko. Are you with me? Hapana chavanotaura. And then unotaura ma-billions mashoma aya ari kuitwa maybe in a proper way nevana venyika, but ma-China vasiri vana venyika munova-protect. Vari kurova vanhu vedu, vari kuabhusa vanhu vedu, and so forth. Ndio leadership yo yatisingade manje yekuti isusu we become second-class citizens. What is the vice president doing about what the Chinese are doing? Why did he not bring it up in the Politburo? Masaisa etikuzoona ma-Chinese nekuti iwo vanodya nema-China, vanodya nema-China, vanoda vazosupportwa kana vada zvigaro nema-China, but not knowing kuti they are actually discrediting themselves, because ultimately Zimbabweans must own this country. I'd want to see Zimbabweans benefiting, and this is one thing that ED has done, whether you like it or not. He's given an opportunity to Zimbabweans to make money. Okay? The vice president protects the Chinese. It's well known. So how important is the Chinese? Vakarwira nyika ino ima-China here, general. Vakarwira nyika ino ima-China here. Sevasiri kutaura nyaya dzema-China dzatiri kuona vachibaya vanhu nemapanga, vachitora zvinhu, vachishudha vanhu, vakaenda kumacourts, ivo vopindira vakuru vacho kuti variliswe. Pasi nazvo. Pasi nazvo. And handimbofi ndakanyarara kutaura. And hapana wandinotya at all. At all. Are you with me? Uniform dzinopfekwa nevanhu, mapurisa, masoja, air force, prisons, even CIO. Kushandira nyika. Not kuzvishandira iwewe. Kushandira nyika. They must understand that, and we will remind them. Because the moment you start using those uniforms for your own personal gain, you are abusing office. And kune ma-charges acho. One day ma-charges acho wakagara wabuda mu-office. I'm always warning people to be careful. Okay, nema uniform amnofeka, you take oath to stand for the people, to represent the people. Is that what is happening? Kana kuti vakuru vacho ma-uniform ndo vakutora ma-minds evanhu, ndo vakutumira mapurisa, kushandisa mapurisa kuti vaende kunoprotecta ma-interests avo instead of protecting the interests of the country. This country is spiritual. I've always said it. And we speak because it's not too more kutitaure ne zvinenge zvatitumawo and zvichitiprotectawo, so atitye. Mwari ariko, vadzimedu ariko, aizvo atitye izvo. Uniform dzavanopfeka idzi hadzipo pakuabuse kana kuchikidzira munhu, but to serve and protect Zimbabwe.